in December, so let's do it now. In some ways, works maybe better now. Looking backwards, it's going to be best, well, maybe if not the best of necessarily, but at least a good handful of favourites.
Some key takeaways.
Some key takeaways from pop culture madness, mainly movies and other shenanigans, from 2025.
I'll start with best movie of the year, and it got this title early in the year. Do you know what I mean? It was a freight train for me that came in steaming at the start of the year, and just nothing beat this film, and that is Nosferatu.
So how many times do you think you've watched it since over the course of that year?
It's in double digits. It's usually in double digits. Yeah, absolutely. I
mean, when was the last time you did that with a movie? What was the last movie that was a double digit movie, the same fucking year you first ever saw it?
Oh man.
They're a rare beast.
Yeah, they are. The only ones that stick out to mind are the Lord of the Rings trilogies. But there must have been something in between that I've watched. Oh, that's a tough one. I
don't know. Yeah,
the only other one that I might sort of think comes close is, and it's not by no means, it's only just a high-ranking sort of multi-watcher, and that's probably the second Avatar movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've watched that a good few times. I really enjoy that one, but apart from that, I can't think of anything else that really stands out.
So fair to assume you saw the third, right?
Yes, I have.
And
yes.
As I know you're a big fan of the franchise up to that point, how did the third work out for you? Because it's mixed reviews.
I loved it.
Yeah,
really, really good. Yeah. I'd probably say that maybe the second best movie of last year.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's fair to say it is more of the same, but it's like if it's a thing that you like, more of it ain't a bad thing, I guess.
Well, exactly that. Because I mean, when you've got a formula that works, and whatever you're going to watch it for, whether it is the story that everyone's like, it's just Ferngully retold, but like if you go for the story, if you go for the spectacle, the technical aspect of this is all CG kind of stuff, or just for the pure visuals of just, I just want to sit there and look at pretty colours, because there's such colourful movies, and they've had such I don't want to call it a wash of colour through it, because it's like, but they have kind of a theme. Each of the ones, kind of thing, working through the elements from what I can work out. Do you know what I mean? Earth, water, fire.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get from it. But yeah, I really like the third one. I thought it was a good movie.
Thanks.
What's your top movie for last year?
You know, I'm that guy that chickens out. Well, not somewhat chickens out of this stuff. But I can give you 10 or more things that I really, really enjoy. Putting them in an order. What
would be your top three? Your trifecta, like in no particular order.
I mean, Nosferatu's got to be there. That's I think we can all agree on that one. I can't imagine anyone saying. I mean, if you've just. Because even if you don't like horror movies, I mean, it's not like it's blood and guts and like slasher stuff, you know. So even I think non-horror fans, if you've been avoiding it because I don't like horror movies, I mean, when it does go for the jugular, it goes quite strong. Granted,
yeah, absolutely.
But it's not.
It's
not about that. That's not the story they're telling.
It's a slow burning period romance with horror aspects. Really, when you think about it,
and it's beautiful. So there's that, and then I guess like very different to try and this film by Logic, the rapper. His first feature film, his first directorial debut, as a feature film, which he also stars in Paradise Records.
Okay.
I just adore. It's so good. It's nothing you haven't seen before, really, but especially for a debut attempt.
Mm.
Some of the scenes, some of the shooting, it's for a comedy, for guys working in a record store, and some slightly crazy shit goes down. There's an attempted, stick up and some other things, and it's just Paradise Records.
Paradise Records. Is it very similar to Empire Records? Just a retelling of it kind of thing.
I would think of it more like a Clerks. Small screen.
Okay, yeah.
I would say my other biggest revelation from last year was The Pit.
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's The Pit, as in Pittsburgh. It's just a hospital drama. It takes remember 24, Kiefer Sutherland?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Which I never really got all that into, by all accounts. Big fan of Kiefer, but never quite took to that. But it takes that kind of format where every episode is an hour in the day of this emergency room.
Yeah.
And
so they're sequential then, the episodes.
Yeah.
Each one follows directly on.
It kind of starts at like 6 a.m. and goes to the end, doesn't skip anything, and it's just fucking intense. There's just people brought in on trolleys left, right, and centre all the time. There are like 5, 6 things happening in any given episode, but it's only an hour, so that barely starts as that one finishes, and they find out what to do about that, and it's like, season 2's just started, but after watching season 1, it's like, how could you watch that weekly? That'd be far too much anxiety for me to wait till next week.
Very much sort of loads, like I said, there's loads of different casualties and things coming in. So it's loads of different layers of different stories. But and you're just getting that one slice of just...
There's getting to know the staff, the doctors, and trying to find getting glimpses of their actual personalities in between doing the job. And how they do their job. There's the senior guy, there's the new rookies coming in, the student doctors, and how some people interact with each other. And I just think I was just mesmerized. I didn't necessarily expect to be, but I was, and I can't wait for season 2 to finish. I can watch all of that now.
The problem is because I have the unlimited pass, I saw that many films.
So much stuff. Yeah.
I think, his mate Johnny, I think he did a count, and I'm sure it was close on 70 films that we'd seen over the year or something like that. Oh, God. Warzone. Warzone. Yeah, watched that once.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've not watched it again. It's one of the, in contrast to what we're saying about Nosferatu, where I've watched that countless times.
Yeah.
I watched that once at the cinema, and I would struggle to bring myself to watch it again. Not because it's not a good film; it's because of what it covers and what it does to you.
Because if you haven't seen it, you should. The cinema would have been the optimum way to do that, but still worth a watch regardless. But one of those you probably file away. Might be sometime, maybe one day, maybe somewhere, maybe 2 or 3 days down the line.
I will watch it again at some point. It's just like I say, it's one of those where you've got to really, really want to watch that kind of film, because going in not seeing it, you've got an idea of what it's about, but you don't realise just how it delivers it and to what degree it delivers it. So great film.
Of course, there was the fair to assume soon to be multi-Oscar winning Sinners, which pretty much across the board, most people not really heard anyone say anything particularly negative about that film.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was an interesting take on a familiar story kind of thing. It wasn't groundbreaking in the sense of the story or the plot or the twist and everything, but the delivery and some of the the granular detail kind of thing, that was where it really got there. And I really enjoyed it, and I hope it does pick up some
Jackie Chan's latest. I say latest, but seriously seems to knock a film out every other week, which is great for somebody who's retired about 10 years ago.
I was going to say it's for someone that would normally slow down in the career and think, oh, I'm not going to churn him out as much. I'm sure he's picked up more pace and he's probably doing more per year now than he has done in years leading up to sort of
but
slowing down.
The Shadow's Edge, which I thought was a really, really great flick. Very modern, all about technology and surveillance and the state and all that. But I mean, not too much because, China. But the really clever way that he's starting to finally admit that he's like 105 years old and he can't quite do all the stuff he wants to do or used to do. So it has a really good sort of ensemble cast where it lets some of the younger people take a bit more center stage.
Yeah.
But still, when it comes to that final fight and it's Jackie, but he's always used a lot of using the environment and knocking the chairs over and pulling your coat over your head to tie up your arms. He's always done that anyway.
Yeah. That's it. Is it Wing Chun that he? Is it Wing Chun that's his martial art? Or I suppose it's a freestyle.
Yeah,
version of it. But yeah, obviously, environmental combat's always. I've always found that interesting.
Yeah.
So when you look at films,
I feel like you really, really used that well. It didn't take much to suspend your disbelief that this guy's beating up that other guy. So
yeah,
I thought it worked really. I quite enjoyed last year.
I didn't catch that one. It was on my list to see it, but for whatever reason, never actually caught it.
I mean, I enjoyed the first one. And then, 5 years more, maybe? In between, they announced they're doing a sequel, and I'm like, well, I liked it, but who the fuck wanted another one? Really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the first one. I thought that were a good film, and I don't want to see a sequel. I wanted to see a sequel.
I mean, the second one, it's more of the same, but everything's just cranked up another notch. Everything that was good, like there's more John Bernthal, so that's a good thing, because Bernthal and Affleck seem to have this chemistry that's really, really good.
Yeah,
like really good. And you watch some outtakes and things like that, or if you watch the as they were promoting it, you watch them on talk shows and shit like that, and it's like, oh, there's a bromance going on right there with those two. I expect to see more things in the future with those two together. Interesting. Caught Stealing. Did you catch
yes,
Stealing?
That was good. Yes,
that was
I did
fun.
enjoy that.
Yeah, that was fun. It's like the best Guy Ritchie film that Guy Ritchie never made.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's a fair call. Yeah, it's going to be fair to middling kind of thing, and I came out actually thinking that was a damn good film.
Pretty good, nice. I like the ending. We'll not spoil it, but could have really, really bundled that ending, but I think they made the right choice.
Well, to be fair, I mean, the entire story could have gone sideways at any point during it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those plots where it's very much a roller coaster kind of thing. It doesn't quite go where I expected it to go. It kind of always went a bit left or a bit right from it. I was like, hang on, it's like, and it kept me enthralled. It kept me engaged with it. So I think that's why it had such good impact.
Yeah, let's look forward a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Shall we? What's anything on the horizon on your radar you're looking forward to?
Werewolf. Or Beowulf, depending on how you do it.
Yes, of course.
That's my. I'm hoping.
Do you feel are you struggling to kind of try and rein it in a bit? We don't want to overhype this thing to the point, I mean, I don't know if it's even going to be possible really to overhype it, because I feel very, very confident that we're going to love it, but
it's
sometimes I almost catch myself when it comes up in conversation, almost thinking, whoa, no, slow down, calm down, just in case, nobody's perfect. It might not be all that.
The thing is I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying it's even going to be a top 3 werewolf film after I've watched it, but it's a Robert Eggers film.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on my radar until a year or 2, maybe 3 years ago. But yeah, his work is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. the fact that it's a werewolf film, and I've just seen Nosferatu, which is literally one of my favourite films of all time. I just think that is an absolute masterpiece. To think that he's now going to go and do a werewolf film, which I've always wanted a really good werewolf film.
Yeah.
There's good ones out there, but there's certain itches that they don't scratch, or not. No movie scratches all the itches, kind of thing. There's always short in some area. The closest one to being perfect is American Werewolf in London, but it's a dated movie, so it does technically fall back on certain things because it just doesn't look as good as we can do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. Werewolf.
We're getting a fucking He-Man movie, son.
I've not watched the trailers. I'm avoiding all kind of. I've unfortunately seen a couple of stills, which I was a bit annoyed about because I want to avoid absolutely everything. I've seen Skeletor and I was like, ooh. I like. And then I saw one. I think it had maybe 6 characters on it against their animated versions, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I quickly scrolled past that. I thought I don't want to look at that, but I looked. Do you know what I mean? It's like I knew what it was, and I looked, and I thought, no, stop looking.
You've got nothing specific in mind to watch. You're looking at the shelf because physical media, kids. Keep it physical when you can. If you've got the space, you know.
Keep it physical.
Not everybody has, but
physical.
And you just, you're looking, so you're browsing the shelf. Shelves, kids, are a lot like the tiles on Netflix, but they're stuck to your wall. You're browsing the shelf, and it just sort of calls to you and says, "Put me on again," as I'm sure Nosferatu does for you.
Yeah.
So I went down a bit of a rabbit hole, as you do on the interweb.
On subtitles.
The other day, because
you went down a subtitle rabbit hole.
I did, right. Bear with me.
I can't imagine that was a very interesting.
Because Gen X apparently has subtitles on. Gen Z rather has subtitles on. The kids have subtitles on because they can read it quicker than it takes someone to say it. So they can look up, read it, and then get back to their phone and still know what happened. Which pisses me off because, again, so you're not getting the nuance of that actor's performance. You're just quickly reading, and then my dog died. Oh, right, his dog died. And get back to your phone. But that actor's worked really hard to try and be believably sad, and you don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason why I don't like. That's another reason why I don't like subtitles, because I'll be able to read it quicker than they can say it. So I'll still pay attention to what they're saying and how they're saying it, but I'll know what they're going to say. So any surprise revelations or anything, I know you're going to reveal this. You know you're going to say
this. You've moved on.
Yeah,
you've already moved on because you've read it, even though you don't want to. Yeah.
If it was I don't know, the reveal of who the killer was kind of thing in something, and they start, oh my god, and then there's the dramatic pause.
Yeah.
The subtitles will say dramatic pause, and then it'll say the word that's going to follow it. So you've already seen it. Whereas if you're just in the moment watching it and listening, you're there waiting for that delivery of who it is. You know what I mean? And again, that's the reason why I don't like subtitles.
So again, I'm sure it's not all Gen Z, but apparently that's a common.
You can never speak in a monolith and say it's all. It's in anything. It's never all. It's never all. Nothing's all.
And apparently, us old farts, I don't know if this is evidently maybe not true for you, but apparently us old farts, and I can somewhat attest to this, we put the subtitles on. I don't know if this is your bro's issue with subtitles, but apparently people around our generation tend to put the subtitles on because the way a lot of movies and TV's been produced, like this millennium really, over the last 20 years, is that dialogue tends to be really quiet and sound effects, be it gunshots, tires screeching, whatever, are really fucking forward in the mix and really loud. So that when you get the volume to a level you like it because people are talking, but then when like the action starts, that's way too fucking loud and you want to turn it down. So you turn it down, and then when they start talking again, you can't fucking hear it. So you're turning it back up, and up, down just gets a bit ridiculous. And people, apparently, many of our generation are going, well, fuck that, I'll just put subtitles on. So I can have it, so I can have the effects at a reasonable volume, and hopefully, if nobody rattles a crisp bag or farts or whatever, I can hear what they're saying. But if I can't, or if it's a bit muffled to my old man ears, at least I've got the subtitles.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that is definitely true. That is the way a lot of movies and TV are produced. The sound effects are way too up in the mix. That's a definite fact. I don't know if it drives me to subtitles, but it definitely is a production issue.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that being a reason why people may do it, kind of thing. But to me, I would just say, well, gunshots are louder than people talking.
That's
So,
very true.
do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like I'd rather have the loud sound effects, and that car engine, it's louder than people talking. So it should be louder. So have the volume so you can hear what people are talking about. And then because for me as well, you've got to remember that there's a sound engineer and a mixer who did that mix on that show, on that film, and will have done everything for a reason. So for me, well, you want to hear that. You want to hear those nuances, like when the music comes in and that sound effect, and what sound effect they actually used for that. You've got to have the volume up. Have the volume up, and don't be a whiner and complain that it's too loud when cars are racing, or it's too loud when they're having a gunfight. It's like, oh my god, shut up.